Project Hail Mary is the brand new movie from Amazon that's hitting theaters this upcoming weekend. The film's directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who are the directors behind the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball movies, the 21 Jump Street movies, and are the writers behind the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movies. But this is the first film they have directed since 2014's 22 Jump Street and the Lego Movie. The film is based on a book by Andy Weir, who also wrote the book The Martian, and the film's screenplay is by Drew Goddard, who also adapted The Martian all those years ago. The film stars Ryan Gosling as science teacher Ryland Grace, who's a middle school science teacher who's recruited by the U.S. government, led by Eva Stratt, played by Sandra Hüller, who is trying to the fact that there's a mysterious substance that is destroying the sun, which will affect the Earth's population. So Grace is on a mission to, by himself or with other people as well, to figure out how to stop this substance from destroying the sun, which will eventually save the Earth. Along the way, he finds a mysterious alien creature that he names Rocky as they try to help each other save the world. The film is 2 hours and 36 minutes and is PG-13. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new review here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Enberg. If you guys are new, please hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, so notified when my videos hit the channel. I do movie, TV show reviews, added feature reactions, movie franchise rankings, and every week I break down the box office. So please subscribe, ring the bell. If you are new, comment down below. What are your guys' thoughts on Project Hail Mary? Are you excited to check it out? Did you get a chance to go to any of these early advanced screenings, or are you excited to see it opening day? Love to hear your thoughts. Have you read the book? All of these things down in the comments. And also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. So I got the chance to see this at an early screening on Monday night. Really pumped to see this movie a couple days early. This is one of my most anticipated movies of the year because Phil Lord and Chris Miller are two of my favorite filmmakers in Hollywood. They're behind the Spider-Verse movies, the Lego movies, the Jump Street films, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and also one of my favorite Apple shows, The After Party. So they have never missed in my books for the most part. So, and Ryan Gosling, sci-fi based on the book of the guy who also wrote The Martian. So I was very excited. And even though there was fantastic early buzz, the film still absolutely won me over and over delivered. I was actually shocked how floored I was by this sci-fi film when it ended. I am someone who wouldn't be here talking movies without sci-fi. If you know me, I know you know how big of a Star Wars fan, but I love a great sci-fi movie. Just love a great sci-fi movie because it makes you wonder, it makes you appreciate filmmaking. It feels so original and unique, and it really makes you, in my opinion, at least when I watch sci-fi movies, love movies. And Project Hail Mary is a movie that makes you love the cinema, love the movie theater, and love movies. This isn't this overcomplicated science gibberish mess of a science film. And it's also, the film is balancing going back and forth between the present time and the past. When Ryland wakes up on this ship, he's kind of trying to remember why he's actually the person chosen to be on the ship, have his memories. And we're going back and forth with the past, which is how Ryland's being recruited by the government and how the science stuff. And sometimes in movies like this, when you're going back and forth between the present, which is the cool space stuff, and going back to the human stuff, that can be a really tough blend because obviously there's going to be one part of the movie that you like more than the other. But the movie is so well balanced from a structural perspective, from a tone perspective, because as I said in my added theater reaction, this is a special movie. This movie is very funny, which I think separates it from other space epics we've seen like Interstellar, Arrival, or The Martian. This movie, I think the perfect way to describe it is Castaway meets Arrival, or Castaway meets The Martian. Like those three movies into one, you get Project Hail Mary, because this movie is all on the shoulders of Ryan Gosling as Ryland Grace, easily giving one of his best performances of his career. And this is someone who adores Ryan Gosling throughout my entire life. I think he's one of the strongest actors in Hollywood. And he's really known, sadly, from a lot of people just being a good-looking, funny guy. But if you've seen him in other movies like Blade Runner, for example, or La La Land, he's obviously a lot more than that. And he brings his charm and his funny quips here and there in this movie. But he does a really good job balancing being the funny nerd guy, but also balancing the fact that he has to give himself up and be very emotional and vulnerable in spots in this movie, and you buy it. He is so fantastic and charming. You're not just rooting for him because he's Ryan Gosling. He just does feel like a regular person who's trying to figure out bravery, humanity, all of these things throughout this film. And he's definitely one of the more relatable main characters I've seen in a sci-fi epic in a very long time. As I said, it's definitely balancing a lot of tones because it's a lot funnier than a lot of other sci-fi films, but I thought the jokes absolutely landed, especially when Rocky is introduced in the movie. And the Rocky and Grace relationship really brings this movie completely together. It's one of the best duos in a movie that I've seen in years, where, yes, it's a rock and it's a human being, but I felt emotionally engrossed with both characters and how much they depended on each other, how much they needed each other, learning from each other, and wanting to make it back home. And I almost got choked up on multiple moments. I got more choked up, honestly, leaving the movie thinking about the film than in the moment, but I could totally see people getting emotional in particular moments in the film. It's a film that speaks a lot about humanity, bravery, optimism as well. It's not a depressing sci-fi epic about the end of the world. It's more trying to be optimistic. Sandra Hüller, who I think might not get as much credit as she deserves, is really good here because on the page, she's kind of a one note at times generic government person, but the script and the performance gets a lot of complexity as the film goes on. And there's a really powerful karaoke scene, is the only thing I'm going to say. And it blew me away how much that emotionally hit me because I thought it was a really powerful sequence. The score from Daniel Pemberton is fantastic. The filmmaking on display is unbelievable from Lord and Miller, Oscar winner, cinematographer. Greg Fraser, who did the Batman and the Dune films, is on display. The film is gorgeous. Nothing feels not real. Sure, there's CGI, there's also a lot of practical effects, but everything feels real and at the fingertips because everything's in camera. Everything's so close to the characters and at arm's length. None of this feels like green screen or fake. And I think if this felt manufactured, it really does feel like our world meeting another. And I think that's a beautiful thing in this movie. You can laugh, you can be serious, you can cry, you can feel optimistic, excited, smiling. This one put a huge smile on my face, and this will definitely be in my top 5 or 3 of 2026. I hope I get better movies than this because this is such a fantastic movie. I really can't highly recommend it enough. The only thing I'll say on a negative is this movie is definitely too long. It's like 2 hours and 36 minutes. And you can feel towards the third act that things are kind of going on a bit longer than it should. But I got to be honest, I was so engrossed in what was going on. I don't care. Is it a fair criticism for you to say the movie is too long? It is. It is too long of a movie. I'm not going to deny it. It still works for me on every level. This is why we go to the movies. I'm giving Project Hail Mary a 5 out of 5. So I rarely give out a year, 1 to 3 movies a year. 5 out of 5 stars. I am going 96% for Project Hail Mary. What are your guys' thoughts on this movie? Let me know down in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon.